to Board Game Giants, the vintage version. And this is a show where we interview people who collect vintage board games, and we get to know a little bit about them. And then at the very end, they're going to show us their massive collection. And today we have Vinny from the Insane Board Game Freak Show YouTube channel. And here he is, folks. Vinny, how are you, man?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man.
As we say in New York, yo, how you doing?
How you doing? I love the accent, man. Well, anyway,
the New York Giants here. Board game giant. Yeah, New York board game giants.
Well, thank you for representing the board game museum, man, or just board games in general. All right. Well, let's start with the question here. How many board games do you have?
I mean, I probably got like, I think now, maybe over 500.
Over 500. Wow, that's a huge collection, man. And
I had 400, but then it went up, and you don't even realize it. Like when you're making purchasing or anything, or at the thrift shops, and then all of a sudden you walk up to the register with like a pile of boxes of board games.
Yeah. Your garage all of a sudden starts getting so full you don't even know where to put them, and it just sort of happens when you're a collector. It's funny how that works.
Yeah.
So 500, that's a lot of games. And I'll tell you guys, if you've not seen Vinny's channel, he has got board games, older games that I have either never heard of or have seen any videos on at all, like Knight Rider board game, for example, Breaker 19 Trucker game, for example. So he's got a ton of reviews, and he does them fast. He's probably the fastest I've ever seen as far as making videos. So I'm glad to have you on, Vinny. So here's a question. When did you actually start?
It's a pleasure to be here. It's a great honor.
You're very well. Thank you so much. When did you start collecting games? Do you remember?
Probably like a few years back ago, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. And I just started like collecting games, and I got interested in games, starting from like something simple as playing the Ninja Turtles game, the Pizza Power game or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I decided to start like looking at different games and everything, on anything that would pop off in my head, like such as the Knight Rider board game. So I said, are there any other TV shows that had board games in the past and movies? And I'm like, probably, so I decided to look up on images, and Google Images showed like a lot of different cartoon board games and, all different old live TV show board games. Heck, I even got the Golden Girls Clue game or something like that.
Wow.
But I mean, like, different stuff, board games based on old video games I used to play in the arcades back in the day. Mm-hmm. Just old TV shows I used to watch and stuff at Nick at Night and everything, But, I started getting interested in the mechanics of the gameplay. And then after a while, you start seeing like, most games can be the same in a sense, but like slightly different and change, because of, I don't know, I guess, copyright infringement or something. I don't know. But it was pretty cool, though, like, stumbling upon all these games. And like, when you're looking for one game, you start going off on a tangent, like looking for different games and that you see in the thrift shops and everything. You're like, oh, I gotta get that one. I gotta get that one, and then you start seeing a whole lot on eBay and stuff,
But, what's your favorite vintage game?
Oh, geez, I don't even know. There's just so many of them, like I'm sure you understand being the collector that you are. You have all these games. It's like, I mean, I like Hero Quest. I like Dark World.
Oh yeah.
I like yeah, I mean, like when I first started getting into this whole board game thing too, I loved a lot of the vintage board games because of what they do, and they have different mechanics, But I'm looking at a lot of my games too, and I see that, they're mostly like dungeon crawl games, Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
I like a lot of action adventure. I mean, go with like the Omega Virus too. I mean, that game I'm looking at that I got, that game's insane.
Oh yeah,
but it's just so cool.
Mm-hmm. Good question for you.
Yeah,
what I have here. Have you ever had like an experience like when you brought out an older game and people are just like, oh my gosh, what is this? Like a perfect example might be Fireball Island, because that's an awesome looking game, and people might like, oh my gosh, that looks great. What is this?
That
And then,
happens all the time.
yeah, with older games, yeah. Did you have a particular one that you can think of that happened with? Like people are just like blown away in a way, not expecting it.
I don't know. I'd have to say Crash Canyon, but then again, like from that, there's like a big jump and change to like people not even knowing about like either Polar Dare or Mighty Max. They're like, oh, I didn't know there was a Mighty Max board game based on the cartoon. And there's one from the UK that I got, Mighty Mouse board game too, Saves the World, Count Duckula, a few Ravensburgers games. I like to collect them. There's something about Ravenburgers, you know, like or Ravensburgers, however you pronounce it.
Yeah.
But anyway, it said just like the way like the art is in those games, the way the boards are all drawn out, the cards, just the feel of playing it. It's got like a nostalgic, you know, feel to it. It's almost like playing like an old storybook that you used to read when you were a kid, renting out the book back from the library in the school, you know, like, and it's got like that nostalgic going back to school kind of feel to it, like cool feeling, you know, playing those games, you know, like Scotland Yard, you know, Undercover, Midnight Party, Labyrinth. Labyrinth's a great game. They have different additions to that game.
Yeah.
But there's only one to me. I mean, like I like a lot of them. The electronic one's great. Master Labyrinth that you reviewed is great. I mean, it's just like ingenious games that like some of these you know, games from Ravensburgers are about, you know.
Yeah, and that's your board game channel. Like I said, Vincent has a board game channel on YouTube. Tell us a little bit about it and what you do.
Well, basically, my show is about, you know, just, you know, me just doing it, the introduction to the game, you know, introducing the game and telling the names of the games and stuff like that I'm going to review. And then while I'm reviewing the game, I do you know, a board game or card game instructional. I do board games, vintage board games or card games, and also as much as modern, you know, board games and card games. I'll do dice games too.
Would you be up for showing us your
Cool.
collection? I know you got a massive one. And then you just have to kind of get the camera and just kind of show us what you got since you're holding it.
Well, for starters, you know, I'll show you this one. I got Ned's Head. I got Mousetrap, Elephant Edition, Woody Woodpecker. I mean, this is the ceiling right here. So I jammed it in there. You know, I had to use some butter, you know, some grease to like, you know, get them to squeeze through up to the ceiling. But yeah, I got Ninja Turtles, you know, old school, new school Turtles. These are the games that are kind of a big hit. Yeah. I got a lot of views for Greedy Granny. Vampire Hunter. I don't know. Can you see everything?
Yeah.
I got Home Improvement. I got that was a good show back in the day, so I grabbed the game when I saw it, you know.
Yeah.
I got these little games like dice games like Dungeon Roll. Dungeon Roll's a cool dice game. Who doesn't like Rock'em Sock'em Robots?
Oh yeah. Yeah, just put it in front of you like you're doing. I can see it. It's, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's see. Kerplunk, Battleship, Sharkmania. Yeah, a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah.
Keep on.
Oh, okay.
Garfield.
I even got the TV games. Price is Right. Family Feud. Heck, I even got Tiddlywinks.
That's an old school game. All right, let's see.
Yeah.
Crash Test game. Now, what is that one about?
Crash Test Dummies. That's this is one. I think this was like my 5th game I put on my show.
Oh, okay.
But
I never heard of it.
The Incredible Crash Test Dummies. I got this game from the UK.
Wow, I've never heard of it.
A lot of games would come popping up, you know, on the Google Images, and then you'd be surprised how many games and stuff that you'd see of different genres that you want. Like I was stoked when I found the Dick Tracy movie game.
Wow,
You
that's
know,
something I haven't heard of. I was
and the movie was pretty good. I mean, it got
yeah.
This game but the Batman game. This was my first episode of Board Game Museum that I saw of Norman.
Yeah,
and I was looking for instructions on how to play the Batman game so I could see how the Batman game would be if it would be cool to buy. And I saw his video and I'm like, yeah, I'm buying that game. It's pretty cool, you know? So thanks, Norman.
You're very welcome, man. What else have you got?
I got Speed Racer. I got the Bruce Lee game. I got the Slamwich game. Spare Time Bowling Dice.
Oh yeah, Bruce Lee game. Now that's another one I haven't heard of.
Yeah, I didn't hear about it either. I'm like, did they even come out in a Bruce Lee game?
I didn't even know that. That's unbelievable. Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna review that game pretty soon because I'm almost up to that now. I was as happy as a pig in mud when I found this game, the Muscle Mega Match game.
Oh my gosh!
It's based off, and it comes with. Remember that show?
Yeah.
That commercial back in the day, and the guy's like, Muscle Man figures, they're this big and they're pink.
I happen to remember that.
So the guy who sold me it on eBay here, he gave me a whole bag load of 200 figures. Believe it or not, there's 200 figures in here. I even got this old vintage one, Batman Swoops Down. This one's an English one. Yeah, Spears Games. I never heard of Spears, but this one's from the UK from back in the day. Like this is 60s style.
Wow.
With these like topple like kind of like, you know, figurines of miniatures, you know. I don't know if you can really see them, but
yeah, I can try to see
you
them.
Know.
Yeah.
And on the bottom, the bases are like a balance thing. So you'll drop them in by using these tongs, like these holders here.
Oh, okay.
And they almost look like, yeah. So you'll drop them into the board, and whatever it lands on, you know, you got to try to rescue Robin. I don't know if you could see. Can you see?
I can see him, yeah. I can see him.
So he's held hostage there by the evil bad guys, and you got to get him out of that trap. So who else is there to call but the Cape Crusader himself? And
I did see you had It from the Pit and Fireball Island in the corner over there. Some of the big ones.
Oh, yeah. I got Fireball Island.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got to see all these. I got Crash Canyon, It from the Pit. I got the Dark World games, the Dark World trilogy.
Wow, those are hard to get.
And, yeah, when Matt did that, when I saw Matt doing those games, I was like, yeah, I'm in on the Dark World. So he loves it. Like when I say good things about Dark World, because I'm like, yeah, Dark World, you know. So I got Key to the Kingdom, Hero Quest. I got Dungeon, the classic Dungeon. I got the newer Dungeon.
You got
Tornado Rex.
Wow.
But the real game that's my favorite, though, I have to say, like, Stuff Your Face. This game is cool. I did a review about this game. I think it was in my 15th episode or something.
Mm-hmm.
But you use the hands like a puppet. And it's got the same kind of gameplay as Hungry Hungry Hippos, but you're grabbing the marbles and you're trying to grab the most of red marbles that you can. But anyway, I got the new Fireball Island. I got Splish Splash. That game goes for a lot, you know, on the websites, but I found it at a thrift shop for like $5.
Wow.
I mean, that's Street Fighter 2.
Oh, Street Fighter
game.
And Dragon's Lair. Wow.
Dragon's Lair, Frogger. I got Thunder Road, Jurassic Park, Dark Tower. That's the board game table. And guess what? You're in the board game room, my secret lair.
It's good to have you on, Vinny. Thank you so much, man.
You're welcome.
Guys, his channel is Insane Board Game Freak Show. He's got a ton of reviews, ton of games, as you can tell. He's got a ton of games, a lot of games I haven't heard of. So y'all check out his channel. I'll leave a link underneath the description, and we'll have another episode coming up soon. Vinny, thank you so much for coming on the show. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much. As I said before, it was a great honor.
Thank you, Vinny. We'll talk to you guys soon.